Hey crew, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lexi and you're at the Spiritual Social, a place where I try to give you messages of light, hope and healing, and that might actually help you on your self-development journey, or they just might entertain you. I'm super happy to see how everybody is interacting on my page and how much you enjoy the channel and its content. I've also managed yesterday to complete the spring cleaning of my flat, and now my flat is cleaner than ever, so it's bursting with a high vibration and good positive vibes. So I just thought I'd tackle a subject today that is very close to my heart, since I've been doing a lot of this inner child healing work a lot in the last couple of weeks. And I just thought I'd share this with you. So this pick a card reading is going to be some sort of healing medicine messages that might help you figure out some things about your journey so far, and especially I'm going to try to look at your inner child wounds and give you some advice or some help as to what you could do in the present to reconnect with that wounded child image of ourselves. Just keep in mind that the pick card is for entertainment. You might find out something really interesting or kind of surprising in the videos that I make, but don't take them too seriously, okay? You are the co-creator of your reality together with spirit, or to whichever other deity you want to believe in. So you are the master of your life. No prediction in this world can actually guarantee 100% what actions you're going to take. So I want you guys to be responsible while you're having fun, okay? Whatever actions you take based on the advice I am given are fully your responsibility. Okay, now that we clarified that small tidbit, you have here 3 options to choose from. You have this lipstick that has a really positive message on it, be strong. I also love how it's decorated to look like a jungle, you know, it's really pleasing to my moon in Sagittarius. And then you have a scrunchie, a really colorful scrunchie that I love to wear. Very bright and positive as well. And then you have a really fun toucan ring. The first time I saw this, I thought it was an Art Deco ring, but then I saw the toucan and I was like, I'm sold, I love this. Okay, so as always, I advise you to please choose with your guts and your heart, not with your eyes, no matter how pretty the objects might be or the cards might be as well. So try to go for what you instinctively feel it might speak to you, because in this way, the messages that I'm conveying to you have a higher chance of resonating with you. I notice a lot of you select a pile or two and then they say this message does not resonate. Well, it could also be that perhaps my energy, I'm very water-based, might not resonate with you, especially if you're highly air or fire-based. That could be one thing. And another thing could be, have you chosen with your instinct? Are you developing your intuition? That's the whole point. That's why we're on this channel. That's why I'm doing this light work. I'm also developing my intuition as I'm helping you guys develop yours. And also, we're having lots of fun in the process. That's the whole idea. Healing comes through having a lot of fun. And there's nothing better and more soothing for a wounded inner child than to laugh a lot, to have fun, to enjoy, to create. So let me guide you in this process, and I'm super honored if you enjoy, like, share, subscribe. I absolutely adore my growing crew. You guys are amazing, and I love to see and to read all of the stories you guys are sharing about your personal development path. I believe in you. I love you. Let's move on to the reading. Hey Pile 1, this is for those of you that were drawn to this Be Strong jungle themed lipstick. This is your reading. If you skipped over the introduction, I was just saying that today I'm going to try to uncover what your inner child wound is, and then I'm going to offer some, with the help of oracle cards, I'm going to offer some tips or some healing guidance for what you could do in the present to reconnect with your wounded child and hopefully heal. But keep in mind, these messages are just for entertainment. Don't take them too seriously, okay? If they resonate with you very well, if you feel like you've gained something from this, I'm super honored. If they upset you, just click away and let it slide by, okay? So just a small disclaimer and trigger warning for you guys. Okay, but for those of you that decided to stay, this is what I have for pile number 1. So The cards I have for you, the tarot cards, are the Hierophant, Two of Swords, Queen of Swords, Princess of Cups. Okay. Okay, I'm already getting something. Let me just show you all of the cards. Yeah. So, a Three of Clubs, mental stimulation, channeling, communication. And Jack of Hearts. This is the Knight of Hearts, more or less. And this is about service through love, popular indulgement. That's what I wrote here. And then the healing messages that I have for you are: make a commitment, detach from the situation, energy healing work, you guys, this is amazing. Boundaries, dance with life, and don't dim to fit in. The inner child wound that I'm seeing in the cards is related to a parent, a father figure who was quite stern, emotionally detached, or fanatic about his ideas. This could have been, with the Hierophant here, a person that was engaged in spirituality, a person that could have been a minister, a priest. I'm hearing the lifeblood of the community in which you were born into. This is a person that would love others more than their own family members, would give to others more of his time or his attention. Father or father figure or male energy in your family. This is a person that was sharp, or he could have had a counterpart, a mother. Why am I saying counterpart? Okay, I'm getting a lot of messages here. Okay, so this is generally a reading, guys. Yeah, I'm reading for a lot of you. Okay, there could be a situation where your mother was the Queen of Swords and your father was the Hierophant. So you grew up in an environment where the mother was highly critical and the father was much more about working in the community. Or your father was either not married, or you had a stepmother, a counterpart. He took somebody on that he never actually married, and this person was very upset because of this, and she would take it out on other people. I'm hearing that perhaps your father figure, your paternal energy, took this person into the house to live with you guys, but did not die. So you might have siblings, other brothers. I'm hearing you might be the youngest girl in a family, or you could be the only child. Take it as it applies, okay? I'm getting so many messages at the moment. So there was the situation where there was a strongly critical female energy, either your mother, who maybe was unsatisfied with the lack of attention and affection that she got from your father, who was more out there in the community preaching. I'm getting a strong vibe that it's a priest or clergyman. Even it could okay, another story could be, it could even be a seller or a person that had to travel for work a lot. Military man, a person, a father figure that was not home a lot. And the mother was disenchanted because of that. She really did not enjoy the loneliness, and she took it out on you and your siblings. So there was a lot of criticism and a lot of emotional detachment, and you grew up in this atmosphere where you could talk, but you could only talk about your thoughts, not your feelings. I feel as if from an early age you maybe developed reading skills very quickly, writing, you're very good at that. And for some of you, you might have escaped in the world of books, of images, of painting, of picture taking, anything that had to do with something that would nourish you emotionally. Your inner child wanted to have fun. Your inner child wanted to just be carefree and loved. Your inner child wanted to release this tension that was existing in your household, the arguments, the indecision, the waiting around for somebody to say something, to do something, maybe waiting around for family trips. Maybe you had to sit through sermons, or like I see that perhaps if you accompanied your father in his work, it was very boring for you. You had to sit through maybe presentations. Your father could have been an academic as well. I see a small child sitting in a row of adults looking at the stage where your father is talking to an audience about ideas, reason, rationality. Your inner child was not allowed to express emotions. None of your parents were able to handle them. There was a lot of resentment between them, especially coming from your mother, who did not feel like she could express herself. Or perhaps she valued reason as well. That's why she was attracted to your father. A spirituality, your father has a spirituality that's very pragmatic. It's not a spirituality based on love. It's a spirituality based on I have to do my job for the community. Responsibility. So in spite of the fact that your parents were responsible and you might have had a lot growing up, so a lot of money, a lot of resources, or maybe you were just supported. You were supported well. You had clothes, you had food on the table. It was okay. You were doing well. But there was not at all an atmosphere of love, of relaxation, of people just holding you, kissing you, allowing you to be silly, allowing you to just make a mess on the living room floor because you're painting or you were enjoying yourself, allowing you to laugh a lot, allowing you to, crazy hair again, sorry guys, allowing you to be happy, express yourself, have fun, laugh from your belly. It could be as well that your father really liked to eat with other people. If they were invited for dinner, they would go out with other people. They might not have enjoyed your mom's cooking, I'm hearing. Oh, or mom. And maybe your mother does express her love through cooking. I know certainly from the culture in which I come from, that's a massive aspect. So quite a traditional background. I see this very clearly here. But there was this, with all the other cards that I'm seeing here, there was this need in you to just be yourself, There was a need to be loved, appreciated. There was a need to be playful. There was a need to dance, roam around, break a couple of things. And I feel like you grew up with this inner child that was silenced emotionally. So maybe right now, in your present environment, you have very strong boundaries raised around you. I feel like you tend to ridicule emotional things or things that could be woo-woo out there regarding spirituality. You have a very critical opinion of spirituality because the way in which you understood it was through your father, and your father was cold emotionally. As I said, they might have been a very good provider. They did a lot of things for the community, but they were not in touch with their feelings, and neither was your mother. there might have been an atmosphere of deep peace in your home, but it was a peace that was always tense. It's weird, right? Tense peace, tense peace. It's almost as if somebody's blanketing, repressing their feelings, and therefore they create the image of peace rather than true peace. Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. So, in spite of the fact that you might ridicule emotions, I'm just saying for some of you that might apply, you at the same time feel really drawn to them, and you feel really drawn to spirituality. And there might be this push and pull between you to either commit to being more emotional. I'm laughing because it's just so ironic, right? How situations put us in certain patterns. So it's, you either make a commitment to this emotional, spiritual world, or you detach from it. It's kind of a seesaw situation in which you find yourself. I feel like you, and that's where the wounding came in. I feel like you might be a person that has very emotional aspects, or you're very good at emotions. You could be a water sign. I feel like inside you're like this person, you know. You're very emotional, you're very sweet, you are very nurturing, you're very giving, you're very sexual, you're very creative, romantic even. Yeah, you can get poetic, you can get very, you know, serenading people on their balconies, or writing love notes, or hugging people a lot and cuddling. You have that within you, but it's not expressed. And the encouragement I'm getting here is that you have to kind of move away from all this people pushing people away, or adapt your boundaries. Adapt your boundaries, like don't raise them too high. And I know this is something, God, I'm working on as well. And have a bit more fun. Flexibly shift through situations. You don't need to have black and white opinion of things. That person is shit, this person is lovely. That situation is terrible, this situation is great. What about, I don't know. What about, let's just see how things go, you know? Or now I'm feeling a little bit sad, later I'm feeling a little bit better. Maybe tomorrow I'll be feeling melancholic, maybe by noon I'll be feeling a little bit, I don't know, excited about things. So kind of allow yourself to exist in the in-between of things. Explore gray areas. And certainly don't dim your emotions. I feel like you're this kind of person that when somebody cracks a joke, you cackle, you know, like you laugh really loudly from your belly, but you suppress that, you know, you want to seem intelligent, you want to seem controlled. And that's because of the upbringing. That's because your inner child was not allowed to express a lot of things. You might have had a grandma or somebody in your environment, a relative, an aunt, that you visited when you were a child, and you loved to dance on really old-fashioned music. Like they would play music from the 1920s, 1910s, you know, that kind of vinyl kind of thing, you know. And you would dance, you know, and they would really encourage you, and you would love it. You'd feel free. You'd feel very spontaneous. But I feel like that emotions have been curtailed. Maybe you still have those memories and you look upon them fondly. And you feel like there's a disconnect between who you are now and who you were when you were a baby. And you're wondering what is happening. So you're focusing right now all your energy on reason, thinking, communication. You might be studying journalism, I don't know, studying something that is related to psychology as well. But at the same time, there is this need in you to, oh, I just got a whiff of a, no, these smell good, but I got like a whiff of a bad smell. Like there is a, yeah, okay guys, so what I'm getting is like, you're feeling okay, you're feeling like in your mood, and then all of a sudden, like a bad smell or like a presentiment, programming from your upbringing intervenes and spoils your fun. So it's almost as if you can never allow yourself to be fully relaxed. you know, and fully enjoying them. Oh, sorry. See, it's like, yeah. See, like hitting good things, hitting beautiful things. And I think that's how it comes from, how you might relate to yourself. Now, I'm not trying to say bad things about you guys. I'm just trying to identify what that wounding might be, so I could try to provide some sort of medicine for that wounding. If you think that you have no wounding, then that's perfectly fine. You know, this video is completely not for you. So be on your merry way. But for those of you that are interested in exploring this subject, I feel like, yeah, you're going through these periods where you're exploring life's beauty, where you're allowing yourself to explore something, to live, yeah, to love passionately, to dance wildly, to explore creatively, you know, lock yourself in the house for a week and just paint or draw or write or sing or again, see, sorry, I'm just gonna move it over here. And you feel guilty for that sometimes, or something intervenes and you're like, no, what are you doing? This is not rational. What is rational or reason? What is reason without emotion? That's basically what I want to say. Why do we have to be only rational? Maybe these are some questions that you might want to ask yourself as you're experimenting these moments that just come like a bad smell. All of a sudden they engulf you and you're thinking, what the F, you know? I was having such a good time. That was a moment when you were genuinely healing your inner child. So what I would suggest is you do more of that. Honestly, have fun, laugh, enjoy, be creative, love something passionately, dedicate yourself to something, a creative endeavor fully. Because you are inwardly responsible and very logical. But there is another side that you're neglecting, a side of yourself, that inner child that is asking for, hey, see me, play with me, have fun with me. So, I mean, the card that made me giggle at the beginning was energy healing work, which is absolutely wonderful because this is basically what I'm doing with this video, guys. So, let me just read you what it says. Dear Archangel Michael, thank you for sending healing energy to me and through me for my own blessings and for all those around me. Thank you for connecting me to loving and high integrity healers and teachers of energy healing modalities. So I don't want to like blow my own horn, but you know, being here and listening to this is part of this being connected to energy healers. So yeah, I generally see that you're on a beautiful journey at the moment, if you're watching this as well, of not dimming your light anymore, you know, of trying to explore a little bit outside of your boundaries. Let me just show you the boundaries card, right? Do you see how she's like, in both of these cards, like her eyes are covered, her hands are like blocking everybody away. Again, because what would happen if she were to open her eyes and drop her hands? Do you see all these hands that want to come and touch her? Well, she might discover, the person in these cards might discover that there are people that want her. There are people that want to be close to her, connect with her, love her. But again, there is that break, mental break that comes in. It's like, oh, am I going to be able to handle all of this? Yes. Yes, 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 1,000 times. Yes, yes, you are able to handle it. So, again, the indecision, right? Craving peace but feeling isolated. Why? Because peace, in your understanding of it, due to the past programming of the connection with your parents, which again, were lovely people, they took care of you, they were responsible parents, but I don't see them being emotional at all. And I think that you are a very emotional person, so that means that a large part of yourself was rejected over and over and over and over again. And now you're rejecting yourself by just being overly rational. And the way to come back to yourself, regain that joy and reconnect and heal your inner child would be to just accept the fact that you have feelings. You're an emotional person, a lovely person, a person that wants to laugh and sing and have fun with life. No longer flinching between making a commitment to that emotional side of yours and detaching. When I say emotional, people think of anger or fear or anxiety. Emotions are not just anger, fear, and anxiety. They are love, they are joy, they are feeling at peace, feeling like everything clicks. Yeah, just feeling, you know, the whole gamut of feelings is something that, you know, it's worth exploring. It's what makes us human. And I'm saying this to myself as I'm saying it to you, because I had to do a lot of emotion work in my life as well. So allow yourself to be this beautiful person, this loving, fully emotional, sexual, creative, wonderful human being. Because you deserve happiness, and you deserve to be both rational and emotional. Okay, that's the message that I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If any of the things that I said in this video makes you feel a little bit, you know, like you want to release, like I noticed some people said that they cry sometimes when they watch my video. That's okay. Crying is just a release, okay? But I hope that, you know, this message brought you a lot of light and hope. It was intended in that way. Yeah, guys, so I'm just gonna end it here, and I'll see you in my next reading. Mwah. Bye, guys. Hey, pile 2. This is for those of you that were drawn to the scrunchie. So, as I said, if you skipped over the introduction, these messages that I am channeling for you today based on tarot and oracle cards are for those of you that are interested in doing some inner child work, and also can take these messages for what they are, just some light entertainment that might teach you something about yourself. If you are triggered by family situations or discussions about family healing, then please click away this video right now. This is for those of you that are generally interested in these messages and not for everyone, okay? Don't worry, I'll guide you through it, and I'll help give you some tips and tricks about how to navigate this energy. I don't know what energy is coming up, so that's why I don't know either what's popping up. But just in case it might be triggering for some of you, I just felt like saying this, okay? Good, so for those of you that decided to stay, these are the cards that I have for you. They're quite a lot, so let's see. We have here the Wheel of Fortune. So first I'm going to identify what the childhood wound is, and then I'm going to try to give you some tips on how to manage it. The Moon, the Eight of Pentacles, it says here prudence, the Three of Swords, sorrow. I'm already getting things, yeah. Yeah, a lot of be careful, be careful. I keep hearing like, be careful, you can't extend too much, you can't do this, you can't do that. So maybe overprotective parents. Four of Hearts, which is a people person, empathy. Yeah, definitely. I feel like that could be your maternal figure. Let's see all the cards. So you have Five of Hearts, variety and travel. Jack of Black Hearts, that's how I like to call it. So it's a one-eyed Jack, manifesting desire, but also manipulation. Ooh, okay. Seven of Black Hearts, learning to trust, turn to higher values. And then we have oracle cards for you. So let's see. What messages do we have for healing? Believe and trust. Oh, that's so beautiful, guys. I know what the story is. Positive thoughts create positive results. And again, my nose is itching. Okay, this is a sign that I'm connecting. And have confidence. Oh, so true. Okay, I'll tell you the story in a second. So, answer the call. So beautiful. How beautiful she is just looking into the distance. Inner temple. And keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Okay, guys, the first things that I had in mind were hippie parents, or parents that were quite unconventional somehow. You had a very unconventional upbringing. Your parents were not very rich or very wealthy, but they were very loving and very giving and very kind and cute. and empathetic with you. But they did it to an almost obsessive degree, because I feel like your parents had a lot of inner child wounding as well from their own parents that I don't think they got along very well with. I feel like in this situation, there was a lot of sorrow in your family. I feel like people were drinking to block feelings because they felt a lot. There is a thing here, a pattern of highly sensitive people that kept being traumatized. Oh, okay. And it's as if empaths that had to self-drug in order to function as supremely robotic members of society, you know, and your parents disliked that idea. They disliked that idea and they rebelled against it, which meant that maybe you did not have a lot of resources when you grew up, and you grew up with the idea that you have to work to support yourself. However, at the same time, your parents were also kind of being overly protective of you. So they kind of instilled a little bit in you the fear of traveling, the fear of meeting others, the fear of working or collaborating with strangers. So stranger danger might have been a very big thing in your family. I kind of feel it. Like, I can imagine them going like, no, don't go outside, it's not safe, you know, or stay indoors, it's better indoors, you know. Don't go out to parties with friends and do things there that, you know, you might regret it. Stay at home and party with your family. So there is a very emotionally laden connection that you have with your family. You feel responsible for them. You feel like you need to take care of them because they have given you a lot of warmth while you were growing up. However, you're just opening up, or you're just reaching this awareness at the moment that they were also emotionally manipulative with you. So only certain feelings were allowed, not all of them. So for example, you were not allowed to express criticism. You are not allowed to speak badly of them in any way, because they are highly sensitive people that have had traumatic moments with their own parents. They couldn't handle their own children. And I feel like you have siblings as well. You might have been the eldest. So your parents could not handle their own children criticizing them. But both we as human beings have both negative and positive feelings. You know, we can't just be robots and feel only a certain type of emotion. So normally, as you were growing up, you got angry, as every child gets. You started crying, you expressed yourself, and you were punished for it. I'm hearing that your parents punished you by retracting their emotion, retracting their love, and that was hurting like a motherfucker. So I feel at the moment, okay, oh, my eye is itching as well. So eyes, yeah, eyes. You like to look people in the eyes to see if they genuinely feel the things that they say that they feel for you. At the moment, you want to feel desired and accepted for who you truly are, not for just being emotionally good. So there are a lot of secrets in your family as well that you're not aware of, or you're just slowly becoming aware of. There is a thread here that, as I mentioned at the beginning, sorrow was somehow dampened down or handled with alcoholism or drugs. Maybe that's why. Maybe if your parents were indeed nonconformists and part of a hippie community, I'm not saying this applies to all of these communities in the same way, but maybe, you know, maybe they dabbled a little bit in recreational smoking pot and, you know, drinking specific types of hard liquor, or, you know, trying a couple of hallucinogenics. Especially if your parents are older and they were part of that 70s generation, you know, that was a general thing across the world in that period. So in some parts more than others, but, you know, in the western part of the world at least. So there was something here about numbing down the emotions. Do you see how the heart is pierced? It's like, don't feel all the things you're feeling. Try to feel only good things, because a lot of really bad things have happened that we don't want to talk about. So you were raised in this atmosphere where you were more or less mollycoddled, overprotected, stifled a little bit. You were loved, you were cared for. But every time when there was a separation between your parents, you might have suffered quite a lot. And you might have felt very scared, because you were taught that strangers are bad and the world is a place that can harm you. And especially the most harm you can get is from other relatives. So if your parents allowed you to spend a summer with your grandparents or your aunts, you would live with a sense of inner anxiety of what might happen when you were asleep, or you were just generally not trusting people. And this is the really beautiful thing. So your inner child is quite mistrusting at the moment. But look, the advice that I pulled earlier for you is that you need to start believing and trusting in the world, that you can have this confidence. Because I feel like your lack of trust in the world, or your inner child's lack of trust, because you might have developed that, you know, but I'm speaking for those of you that maybe need to hear this, made you a little bit of a recluse. It made you secluded, and it kind of ate away at your confidence. And why is that? Because maybe you're repressing a lot of emotions that have to do with confidence, like anger. Expressing anger in healthy ways can actually be nourishing for the heart. If you keep it in, it gives you depression. And this is something that psychotherapists have been writing about for several years now. So repressed anger leads to depression. It's almost like you turn inside against yourself the anger and the violence you want to express on the outside. But because you can't express it towards others, you turn it towards yourself. So you tend to self-soothe by overeating, overdrinking, engaging in pleasures that might fill the void. But the best thing that you can do is to just open up and have confidence and realize that the fact that the world is a bad place was just an illusion. It was a projection of your own parents' fears, their own unsolved inner child. So I feel like your parents have not healed yet their inner child wounding. But they projected that onto you. And now I feel like you're really searching for this. If you're watching this video, you might be really searching for some sort of meaning, some sort of advice or guidance. So figure out slowly, carefully, in time. You don't have to rush with this. Healing is always a process. It's never happening on the spot. What it is that could be your inward fears, so fears that belong to you, and what are the fears that your parents have projected from their own inner child wounding onto you. Because maybe I have the feeling that you are quite a confident, trusting person. You are a person that's very expressive, very out there. You could have a lot of fire in your chart, but this was suppressed because your parents wanted to keep you protected from the big bad world. And here we go. Your mind could be the mind of an overthinker, a worrier. Spelled W-O-R-R-E-I-E-R. Not warrior, right? So not but more like I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. But so you worry a lot, basically. You don't fight like a warrior, you worry like a warrior, right? In English. So the best thing you could do to overcome that is to replace each negative thought with a positive thought. And you can do an exercise that I kind of taught myself after being a lifelong warrior as well, is that you can replace warrior with warrior, right? You can think about every good thing has a bad side and every bad thing has a good side, and you can start playing a game. For example, it's very ugly outside, great. That means I could stay indoors, and I'm really happy that I could have a hot cup of cocoa, which I wouldn't be able to have on a very hot day. Or it's very hot outside and you're thinking, great, I can have a really cool beer, or if you don't drink alcohol, like cool lemonade or something like that, which I wouldn't be able to have if it would be cold outside. So things like that, and you can just start acting, start honing your positive thinking skills. Or when you lose money, you can think, well, I lost some money, but that means somebody else is going to find my lost money and they will feel like it's the luckiest day for them because they found some money. So in every good thing, there is a bad thing, and in every bad thing, there is a good thing. So try to train your mind to see both sides of each situation, because then you will have a very balanced center. And again, working on your inner self, on your inner temple, steadying that inner temple. I was trying to understand what it is that this answer the call refers to. I think it just refers to you have to tune into yourself a lot. You could have a North Node in Aries, so you could be part of my generation as well, or even the one previous to that. You could have a North Node in Aries. Yeah, and this is kind of the message I'm getting here. So don't feel ashamed of being selfish, of spending a lot of time with yourself, or of actually doing things that would displease your parents. There is a strand of codependency here that needs to be broken so that you can heal your inner child. And healing your inner child, as I said earlier, is all about integrating all of your emotions. Again, it's a little bit about the first pile. The first pile had a wounding there with not accepting emotions. Yours is a bit different in that you accept certain emotions, but only the positive ones, and you're kind of like repressing the negative ones because of your upbringing, your patterning. So your inner child at the moment is like saying to you, stop being so cautious in how you express your anger, in how you express your fear, in how you express your sadness. You can express those. There are healthy ways in which you can express them. You don't need to just bottle them up. That's not a healthy strategy. And you can have confidence and trust as well that if you express sometimes negative feelings, obviously don't do it to an excess, don't do it to hurt people, but do it because, you need to pop them out a little bit, from time to time. You can just say, this pisses me off, or I don't agree with this, or now I'm really angry, so I'm just gonna go and do something that's going to help me soothe somehow, and try to replace negative things with positive things. I'm sorry, I don't want to think, no wait, let me rephrase that, because I feel like it's a bit too much of this dual kind of thinking that I'm channeling here at the moment. See things as a continuum. They don't have to be dual. Bad, good. Your anger could come out of the fact that you are passionate about something. Loving someone also means that you could be jealous about them. Fear is also an indication that you are so emotionally plugged into something that you want to protect that thing. Fear, protection, right? So, as I said earlier, balancing both of these sides. And I think that the more you tune into your heart, the more you understand that emotions are not separate. We tend to separate them through overthinking and analyzing situations, but emotions are not separate. They are there to help us understand that we are human beings that live in a body, in a world, and we react to the environment. Okay, I feel like there are many different messages here. I think that the more that you're going to listen to your heart and believe and trust that you are capable to handle everything, that you don't need your parents necessarily to survive in the big bad world, that the world is not, it is big, but it's not bad necessarily. There are just sometimes some people that are hurt and want to hurt back, or there are people that want to take from you because you have a lot. But that doesn't mean that you'll stop having things. That doesn't mean that you won't meet beautiful people out there, people that want to be your friends, people that want to soothe you and have fun with you. Of course you will. And the more you tune into your heart, the more you're going to figure out what the truth is. Your truth. Not your family's truth, but your truth. Again, so see this card. Learning to trust the higher values, right? Turn to higher values. I think that developing a connection with your spirit guides, ancestors, God, whatever you want to call it, Buddha, Yahweh, whichever deity you want to believe in, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, it's going to really help you. It's going to nurture you. It's going to help you have that confidence. It's going to help you move out of caution. Because I feel like you could be a very cautious person because, again, you might be, I don't want to open up. And I'm not saying that it's because you don't want to, because I feel like you want to, but that's how you were raised, So to heal your inner child, open up. Slow exercises. Try to set intentions of every day about opening up. Follow your intuition. Trust your heart. Connect with your spirit guides. Do you see how many people are behind her as she's praying? How many animals as well? How many wings? How much light, right? So connect with your inner heart. And take it slowly. Don't rush. If you do it one day and you think, oh God, this is not progressing in any way, tomorrow is a new day. Slowly, step by step, things are gonna happen. Things are gonna happen. Trust me, I speak from experience. Things are happening slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. So let me just read you this because it really drew me. So one thing you could do is, I really like to get in touch with Archangel Michael. That's why I'm reading from these oracle cards, but maybe you might have another angel that you resonate with. Let me just read you what it says. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage, and confidence. So you can reprogram your mind every night before going to bed if you are fearful. If you think that you can't make it without your family, if you think that being independent is one of your biggest fears, if you think that the world is a big bad place and you won't survive in it, every night before going to bed, tell yourself, I'm open to trust. Please, spirit guide, enter my dreams and help me be more trusting. Help me have confidence. Because I see here that you are. And even further, that's the really beautiful thing. Because your parents also instilled in you this love, genuine love. You are a person that once they open up, you can heal others. You can share your love and your heart with others. So the more you tune into your heart, the more you understand and accept the whole range of emotions that are out there, not just the good ones and fuzzy ones and superficial ones, right? But all of them in all of their intensity. And the more you stop fearing your own power and have confidence, the more you're going to heal others and soothe them and help them. Help them come in touch with their shadow as well. Yeah, there is something here about shadow work. Answer the call. That to me speaks about shadow work. I might post a video on shadow work and how I do my own shadow work. So yeah, stay tuned. I feel like this was the message that I had for you. So basically, just as in this card, less caution, more rolling with it. Obviously, when I say less caution, I don't mean that you should jump in front of cars or take stupid risks. No, no, no. Not at all. But less closing yourself up. More opening, right? More trusting, more, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. No matter what happens, I'm okay. And I accept myself fully, both when I'm angry and when I'm loving, both when I'm happy and when I'm sad. And also I accept that when I express my negative feelings in a healthy way, people are not going to disappear on me. I'm not going to lose faith. I'm not going to lose love, because I am loved and lovable and loving. Okay, Balti, I feel like I should end it here. It was a beautiful message. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, then maybe this was not the video for you. Just simply let it slide. If you did enjoy it, please comment, share, subscribe. I'm super, super grateful for the fact that you guys are here, my lovely crew. And thank you for joining me on this journey. These messages help and heal me as well while I'm doing this work for you. So I'm super honored to be doing this. Okay, guys, I'll see you in my next reading. Ciao. Hey, Pal 3, welcome to your reading. So this is for those of you that were drawn to the toucan ring. I love this ring. It's getting slightly darker outside, so I put some lights in the back, but don't worry, I'll guide you through the darkness. Maybe this might be a special message for some of you. Again, I just want you guys to know a slight trigger warning. I am going to be talking about family issues and family relations and feelings as well. So if this is too triggering for you, if you don't enjoy these kind of readings, please click away from this video, okay? But for those of you that decide to stay, This is going to be what I hope a healing situation as well. I don't know what cards, I just pre-shuffled them, so I don't know what's going to come out, but I will guide you through it, okay? And I'll give you some tips or some guidance. I'm not going to leave you just like that with a shock message and that's it, okay? So yeah, we all know that family situations can be quite difficult, but they are not unsolvable. Thank God for that, right? So, okay, let's see what messages you have. Also, thank you so much for all your love, guys. I hope that you feel nurtured and safe and happy when you're on my channel. That's my intention with the kind of work I'm doing. Okay, so it's like a lot of hair today. Okay, so let's see what messages you have. The Tower, Ten of Cups, or Satiety. I can pronounce it in my own language, but not in English. Four of Cups, Luxury. Okay, so we have two cards about having plenty. Prince of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Hermit. You got the most cards from the Sun and Moon Tarot. Oh, I see what this is. Okay. Whoa, okay. Then you have 8 of Clubs, powerful determination. You got another 8, fame and fortune. Ace of Spades. Spades? No. Ace of Diamonds. Why did I say spades? Things coming slowly. Ace of Diamonds. Things coming slowly. Okay. Learning through experience and secret affair. And once I'm going to talk about your inner child wounds, I'm also going to give you some oracle cards as well to see how in the present situation you might be able, I have some flowers here, you might be able to maybe, you know, work and reconnect in the present with your inner child, with your wounded inner child image. Because not all of our inner child images are necessarily wounded, but this is for those of you that feel like they have that. So write about your thoughts and feelings, guarded and protected, decide to be happy now. I'm just so happy that also for pile 2 and for pile 1, all of the piles are guarded and protected. This is wonderful. It's like the light work is really working. Align your life, leap, mirror, Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. This might be for people who are in twin flame relationships. This just came to me. This is definitely a situation where you grew up in wealth. You grew up in having in a family in which you have plenty. I have 3 cards here that are showing me this. Look at this. So the 10 of Cups is having it all. The 4 of Cups is about missing out on certain opportunities, but clearly having them, you know. And in the Sun and Moon Tarot, it represents luxury. Then you have the 8 of Diamonds as well, power. You have 2 8s, 8-8, angel love number 8-8 is significant for you. So 8 of Clubs and 8 of Diamonds, earth and fire. There could be parents, so your parents might have been water signs, earth signs, fire signs. They were people that knew how to make money. They knew how to gather resources. Even if perhaps, let's say, you don't have a lot of money, as in, you know, investments and things like that, you have a lot of resources. You have a lot of relatives, or you have a lot of people that can help you. You always can find, you know, material things such as a car or a nice meal, or if you want to travel somewhere, you can make that happen. And I feel like your life was set up in this way because karmically or spiritually, you are meant to be a person that spends a lot of time in solitude, or was pushed from an early experience into a situation of waiting, hanging in the air. Oh, for some of you, you had a parent that walked out. They, you thought that they were going on a trip and they never came back. Or a parent that was literally removed from the physical plane, so they traveled to the other world. It was a really big, shocking moment, completely unexpected, out of the blue occurrence. For some of you, you had a parent that had a secret affair and the other parent found out and they divorced, and it was traumatic. There was a situation there of loss, of something was immediately removed out of your life, and it was something that you thought it was safe and stable. So in spite of the fact that you had an environment that was quiet, you had everything that you wanted materially, there was this shocking experience that marked you. You lost a sibling, a parent moved out, divorce, your house was broken into, a fire, something really, really, unforgettable and traumatic. And I'm really, really sorry if that happened to you guys. I'm really, really sorry. But this made you, like, internally, I feel like you're super strong, you're stealth, you're like silent strength, very powerful. I feel like you continue to have this financial power, but you're also having this kind of intellectual and emotional power. Like you grew so much from that experience, whatever that experience was. And I feel like for some of you, maybe you branched out of your family and you started your own fortune. You're like, I don't want to have anything to do with this environment. I am moving and I'm creating my own wealth. And so you did. Or you're on the path of creating it, because it's Prince of Wands. It's not yet the King of Wands. But I feel like you're just deciding to be happy. Oh God. For some of you, it could have been sexual abuse. That's just for very few of you. You guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect to channel that. Whatever happened, so that tower moment that you experienced, kind of took away the experience of the 10 of Cups, of having the happy, beautiful family. And it pushed you into a period of seclusion, research, and waiting, hanging. You could have even been a little bit secluded for a while, or sent off to a retreat or to a camp, or you underwent counseling. The inner child wounding I'm seeing, because this is why you're here, is like a deep, deep loss. Your inner child was made completely vulnerable through a completely spontaneous experience it shattered a lot of your beliefs in having a good life and being a perfect family. And as I said, now as an adult, with these cards, self-sufficient, powerful, fired up, growing spiritually day by day. Right? Decided to be happy, or you're about to decide to be happy. I'm kind of drawn. I feel like this is your energy. This is your energy, like the two angels with the sword, the halo and everything. I feel like this is you. You're working, you're aligning your chakras, you're healing, my eyes. Okay, this is connection with spirit telling me that, I also feel like you have to protect yourself quite a lot so that nothing like that might happen, or you're doing this kind of work in order to protect yourself so that nothing like what happened to you in childhood that wounded your child so badly could happen. For a very long time, I feel like when you were in your teens perhaps, and you were in the spirit of seclusion, isolation, deep research, introspection, you felt very fragmented due to what has happened. So this tower exploding, this moment of deep, sudden, spontaneous shock and change and transformation, fragmented your inner child. And now you're thinking about, how can I piece my inner child back together? I'm taking this image as literally you could do mirror play. And if you don't know mirror play, psychotherapists do this a lot with babies and children when they do that. So children sometimes look in the mirror to recognize themselves and to recognize that they are, their body parts, to start naming them, to develop their sense of self. And you could generally do that. It's not narcissistic to do that. It's actually quite fun, and it's an exercise in self-love. Looking into the mirror and just saying, I have nice lips, I have a nice nose, I have nice eyes, I have nice cheeks, I have nice skin, I have nice hair. So all these things. And even though you might think, everybody has issues with how they look. I do as well. I know everyone around me has issues with how they look. Nobody thinks that they're perfect. But try to look in the mirror and accept every part of yourself, especially if this was a situation, if the tower moment was a situation of abuse. Those situations make you reject yourself and think that there's something wrong with you, or that you brought that hurtful situation upon yourself. But that's not the case. It's just something horrible that happened because of circumstances. So that could be one way to work with this energy, physically doing mirror play and accepting yourself physically. In other situations where this was not a physical abuse, but it was mostly related to relationships, so as I said, maybe parents got a divorce or they separated, there could be something here about having emotional triggers. So one way to interpret this would be to do shadow work and work on the triggers. What are some things that trigger you? Why do they trigger you? You could write them down, right? So keeping a diary might be a very good way of connecting with your child and not necessarily re-experiencing the trauma, but not allowing the trauma continue to affect your life. So getting some sort of control over it, some sort of hold over it. And I think you're more than capable of doing this. With all this 8 energy, 5 is about changes as well. I think that you're very, and you have these air elements, right? So I think you're very intelligent and quite intellectual, so you like to analyze, you like to understand how things work. And I think this would be a perfect time to connect with your child, with your inner child, and to understand how your inner child works. I might put out a video on shadow work and how I work with this based on some exercises I picked up from Liz Green, a really great astrologer. But up until then, what I can recommend is, definitely mirroring. You could find that your personal relationships mirror some aspects of your relationship to your parents or to that traumatic moment. And you should definitely trust your intuition with whatever situation is happening. But I have the feeling that this just sends me thinking that you might be on a twin flame journey in which, a lot of traumatic things happened in your childhood to help you spiritualize yourself and to help you grow into your own power so that you can actually bring into existence in this current reality a twin flame relationship. There could be more. I'm speaking to a collective here. So I feel that relationship, if you don't manage to heal yourself, the relationship, the twin flame connection heals you. So being in this connection would heal you. I'm not sure if you already met your twin flame. I feel a lot of you have. But if you haven't, then you might meet them and it will be a center point moment. And it will happen when you're fully committed to the idea of healing yourself, of loving yourself fully. So basically, Leap is all about making a commitment that you want to be with someone that can show you true unconditional love. And then the universe is going to help you make decisions, develop thoughts, feel things that can help you manifest it. And once you manifest it, I'm saying here that you're going to manifest your mirror, your twin flame. And this person is going to trigger you, and you're going to heal, and slowly and surely and safely, you guys, in time, you're going to come to this divine union. So if you're struggling sometimes, if you're being haunted by this tower moment and your inner child is hurting, just know that you are not alone and that you are meant to be more or less in a twin flame relationship. If you don't like the idea of a twin flame relationship, I see that you will have a lot of soulmates as well. So as I said, you are engaged in relationships with people that help mirror some of these childhood wounds. So for you, the inner child wound, I think it comes up to the surface in relationships to other people. So you could have a very strong 7th house, you could have Moon in Libra, or placements in the 7th house. The 7th house is our shadow, our mirror basically, our opposite, our counterpart. So you have these situations to help you grow, to help you get in touch with that childhood wounding and to help heal it. But I think the moment where you commit to this healing of your inner child, it's the moment when you're going to flourish. I think some of you have already begun doing it. That's why you're watching this video. Others are just at the beginning of it. So the moment you commit, I feel like life is just going to bring a lot of masters, a lot of spiritual content. You're going to see synchronicities everywhere, and you're going to meet soulmates, and you are going to also meet your twin flame. It all depends on what you want and how prepared you are for this, but basically the overall message, if this was too confusing, I'm really sorry, I'm trying to center. It's still Mercury retrograde, and the light is moving out. So all I wanted to say is that your inner child wounding is going to show up in your relationships, and you can be patient and you can be very loving and understand that these relationships are meant to help spiritualize you. They're meant to help you heal your past. And one relationship amongst all the relationships that you're going to have in your life is going to be a relationship with your twin flame. And that's going to be the most healing. If you haven't been doing any healing, the moment where your twin flame is going to show up, they're going to open up the healing process for you. If you have been doing a lot of self-healing, you're going to meet your twin flame and you are going to reach union with them quicker, in a shorter time, because there won't be that much healing required. But I mean, in whichever situation you might find yourself, I'm really genuinely sorry that this event happened. I'm not sure. I mean, you guys can just let me know down in the comments. I'm just saying what I'm seeing here. And I just want you to know that you were not responsible for it. If you feel emotionally connected to your childhood trauma, you are not responsible for it. Children are not responsible for what happens to them. Indeed, we interact with other people, but when we are young, we're not so aware of what is happening around us. A lot of the things are just externally imposed upon us. And most of us, when we are young, I think, actually, to be honest, a lot of children, when we're born into this world, you're born kind and fresh and new and naive and eager to learn. And a lot of us, unfortunately, learn a lot of difficult things through these kind of traumatic experiences. So don't be so tough on yourself. And hug your inner child. Hug yourself, give yourself beautiful things that make you feel good. Not to an obsessive degree, obviously, and be careful with overindulging. We all should be slightly restrained in how we indulge, but give yourself good things from time to time. Be kind to yourself, speak kindly to yourself, and don't punish yourself based on what happened. And if you want to go back through periods of seclusion, these are excellent moments where you can work on your shadow self and write about what your thoughts and feelings. I have a feeling that a lot of you could be planning books or novels. So write about that. You could share your experience with the world and the traumas you have experienced, if you have indeed experienced the trauma, can be ways in which you heal yourself, by ways in which you also heal others. Okay? Okay, pile number 3. I have to stop here. Unfortunately, I'm running out of light. I filmed this video slightly later than the other ones because mostly I was working on my novel this morning. So, which I will release soon, guys. I'll let you know perhaps next week or in 2 weeks' time when that will be ready. But I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you haven't, simply let it slide away. There's no point in engaging negatively with something that was said on this channel because I am not at all trying to connect with you guys negatively, or I don't have any hidden agenda. I just genuinely want to help connect with you guys, guide, send some light work, some light messages, and just, yeah, if I connect with spirit and heal myself, I hope I can give this back. Okay, guys, so enough about me. I'll see you guys next time in my next reading. Until then, take care, spread love.